are only going to be like 28 or something like that. So it is going to get pretty warm. It's still not time to plant anything yet, guys. That's what I came out to tell you. Hey, listen. Okay, so I did put together a schedule and I was like, okay, by January 15th, decide what you want to plant. And then I had said, by the middle of February, buy yourself something fabulous. So I booked myself a trip to Tucson, Arizona for an interventional radiology conference, which is going to be fantastic. I love that kind of coding and reading those kind of reports and things. So I'm going to do that the week of the 20th. And then I said March 3/15, that's when you can start your seeds for tomatoes and peppers and things like that inside, if you're going to do it. Now, if you want to start those peppers and tomatoes inside around the middle of March, cool. You can also go outside and you could start seeds for cold crops. You could put peas in the ground. You can put lettuce and kale and radishes in the ground, seeds. Where is it? I hear it. Oh, it's right over my head. That also could happen in March 15th. But otherwise, your warm crops you're going to want to start in the middle of March inside. And then around 4/15, you want to make sure that your beds are kind of ready to go. You're going to put up, hey, look, it's right on my head. Hey, that's kind of cool. There you go. There you go. Okay, so like 4/15, March 15th, you're going to put up all your bird feeders for your hummingbirds and your Baltimore Orioles. And you're going to put up fencing if you need to. You're going to put up cold protection if you need to, like hoop houses or framework, things like that. It's a good time to build garden beds and get them ready. Make sure your soil's all amended on tax day. So you can think of tax day in a bad way, or you can think of it as far as like the hummingbirds are coming back and the Orioles are coming back, and that's fantastic. And then the middle of May is when your stuff you started inside is about 8 weeks old, depending if you really actually started at March 15th. About 8 weeks old. They might be able to go into the ground if it's warm. And if you put them in the ground May 15th, then make sure that you protect them from the cold. Make sure you're keeping an eye out for the temperatures, the nighttime temperatures, because if the nighttime temperatures are 45 or below, there's a chance of frost. And people say, what are you talking about? That doesn't make sense. They can't freeze at that time. Okay, listen, Linda. If the temperatures are 45, the reading for the temperatures are about 4 feet. I'm doing it the wrong way. They're only about 4 feet from the ground, 3-4 feet from the ground is going to be the 45 degree temperature. But there can be pockets of colder temps. So depending on how your garden is, you may have air pockets that are colder. And it would really suck if you said, oh, well, I'm not going to worry about it at 45, and then you go out there the next morning and your precious stuff is dead from being frostbitten. So if you're going to put anything in mid-May, your plant starts, or warm plant starts, make sure you protect them. And then at the end of May is pretty close to safe for putting everything else in our area. Southeast Michigan, where I'm in Macomb, and it's like zone 6A/B, and the nighttime temp should probably be about 50 degrees by that point, at the end of May. And you can put on all your warm stuff. And listen, if you start a tomato, let's say you start a tomato right now, and it ends up being like, it's like 3 months old by the time you put it in the ground. It's going to be really tall. It's going to be used to living in a pot. And then you go to put it in some kind of cooler ground, and it's going to take a while. It's going to have some transplant shock. And it's going to take a little while for it to grow. Versus, you've got a smaller start that's maybe it's got all its true leaves, maybe it's, you know, 3-4 weeks old, and you put that in warm ground at the end of May, that smaller one is actually going to perform better. It's going to grow better, it's going to be hardier, and it's going to probably perform better. So, think of the middle of the month as milestone. So, by now you should be thinking about what you're going to plant and like map it out if you can for your space. And get your seeds, order seeds as much as possible from as many places as you can, as long as you have the seeds that you want. Middle of February, buy yourself something fantastic. For Valentine's Day month, right? Because you love yourself. March, plant the cooler crops and start your indoor crops for warm crops. And then April, get yourself ready. Get your nursery prepared for the babies that'll be coming in and protected from the critters that want to eat them all. And then mid-May, you can start putting some things in, and by the end of May, get all your warm stuff in that you can. Okay? That's all. I think that's all I got today. I love you guys. Happy Sunday. Learn and grow. This is Tammy Lowe, the lazy northern gardener. It's getting cold, so it's harder for my mouth to move when it's cold. But Tammy Lowe, lazy northern gardener. Learn and grow some more.